Hello, it's Eclipse back again. In this video, I'll be talking about both series finales of Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead. This thing became a universe so huge that there's no set ending, which is kind of annoying, which I'm kind of done with Walking Dead. That's why I'm doing this, slow, pace, ending of Walking Dead content, because I feel like I didn't really talk about what I feel about the series and the game and the shows and all that. I did not really have a set ending to everything, and talked about how I feel about Walking Dead and what I liked about Walking Dead and just in general how I feel about the whole universe coming to, basically it's becoming Marvel. Basically. Why? You don't need it to be like Marvel. That's just, at this point, they just want money. At this point, because they made it such a big universe that now there's no set ending. Because now with the main series ended, you don't know what happened to Rick. He left. So that's a question. You don't know what happened to Heath. He left. All of these characters left. And there's even more, we have others on Fear the Walking Dead. We have that guy in the very beginning, I forget his name. Tobias, or whatever his name was. They confirmed that he's alive. So, and he never returned on Fear the Walking Dead. He was literally only on 2 episodes. And they said that he was alive. So that's either a thing for later, which he's going to return somehow, which is kind of tiring. I'm not going to watch every single Walking Dead show anymore. The 2 that I used to watch when I was a kid and all that, 13, 14, 15, 16, that's all done. It's done. Telltale Game is done. Every single Walking Dead thing that I watched when I was a kid is all done. So now it's just 2 shows that started last year, or this year, 2023. And there's only the Daryl show and Dead City. I'm not going to watch the Rick show. I'm not going to watch The Ones We Live, because I'm not really into Rick's character, and I'm not into what they're doing with this universe. They're making it so big, and they're making it a set, no ending type thing. Kind of like Marvel. Marvel, they made it so huge that there's no set ending of, a Marvel universe. It's so huge that, I forget when Marvel started, but I'm saying, Marvel is never gonna end till, hundreds years from now, or whatever. Because it's so huge that, they're gonna have movies. They're gonna continue Iron Man somehow, 20 years from now, they're gonna reboot it. Marvel is so huge. It's, that huge. No matter what, Captain America is gonna get rebooted. Hulk is gonna get rebooted. Avengers are gonna get rebooted. They're making a new Avengers movie. They have plans for it. But then it's gonna be the new Avengers. But then it's gonna get rebooted. So we're gonna have Iron Man back. We're gonna have all these characters back. And just with different actors. And we all know it's gonna happen. People say oh no, it's not gonna happen. Look at The Walking Dead for this instance. HBO wants to reboot The Walking Dead, and they want to make their own Walking Dead. Originally, HBO got offered The Walking Dead, but they turned it down. And yet a year later, they took Game of Thrones, which that show is the most violentest, most craziest show ever, and yet they didn't take Walking Dead. Now they're taking Last of Us, and now basically I feel they're regretting the decision that they made. Let's just say, if The Walking Dead was on HBO originally, I'd still be watching it. They wouldn't be letting go actors just out of nowhere. Carl died because he turned 18, and the actor turned 18 and they didn't want to pay him anymore, so they killed him off. That wouldn't have happened on an HBO original show. Like, AMC is going so downhill, they just want money, basically. And the amount of times that Walking Dead got sued, they just want money, basically. They have all these games closed down, canceled, basically, and they basically took all the money and basically paying the things that they lost. And it's just crazy on how this all started. And this all started with Season 2 of The Walking Dead. Season 2 was such a mess that they did not have enough money to go into other locations. So literally the whole season was on the farm. Because they didn't have any money. They literally had no money. They only went to a pharmacy, which Glenn and Maggie, got together the first time. And then they went to that school. Shane and all that, and Otis died and all that. And then they went to that school. And basically, they did not have enough money to go to another location for the whole season, because all this background stuff was happening. With the whole, Frank Darabont, the one that created Daryl. And it's kind of crazy that Daryl was created by someone that's not even a part of Walking Dead anymore. He wasn't even a part of Walking Dead for the last 10 years, 9 years. He wasn't even a part of Walking Dead. And his character that he created, Daryl Dixon, is still alive and around. And let's talk about the endings of Walking Dead. So I'm babbling on. I'm kind of off-putting with this, and I stop making Walking Dead videos, and I just totally stop, and I'm making Last of Us videos and all that. But with the series ending, The Walking Dead, the regular Walking Dead series, they had so many characters alive. How would they make the story possible for all these characters to live or die or whatever? It would be a really violent final episode, but yet no one died. Only just Rosita, which I wanted her to live, but I mean, the actor herself said, "Oh hey, let my character die because there's no characters dying," and we get Luke, but he wasn't even a main character. We had about 25 main characters or 30 main characters. None of them died. None of them. And the show is based around people dying. And being killed off and all that. And getting all surprised. And oh no, another main character dead. For almost 2 full seasons of The Walking Dead, they killed almost no main characters. Season 10 and 11. Almost no one. Almost not a single main character died. Probably 1, 2. That's the most. Literally before, they killed off 2 main characters a season. And now they just, okay, they're all alive. Let's end Walking Dead. Now there's so many questions still. And it's some people say oh hey, let's make this series lasting 20 seasons. 18 seasons. How in the hell can you make a show with 20 seasons, which is a story? South Park is one thing. Simpsons is one thing. It's all separate seasons or whatever, and you can watch any episode. But then Walking Dead is a story. The longest story ever is Supernatural or whatever. I'm not going to start watching that show until I don't know when. And I'm not going to even finish that show until probably 3 years, 4 years. And even how the world is going, most people won't be able to finish a Walking Dead show. This show, the main Walking Dead show, someone's not going to be able to finish it probably 6 years from now. I have friends that's only still on season 2, 3 that never seen The Walking Dead. And they're still on seasons 2, 3, and they've been watching for 2 years. And it's 11 seasons. That's over 200 episodes, almost 200 episodes. That's 150, 60 episodes. And yet, most people will not be able to finish the show, ever. Now they're making spin-offs and the Daryl show and all this. But I did finish it. But I finished The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. That would have been enough. But now they want to make a Rick show. Then there's the Daryl show. Then there's the Negan and Maggie show. Then there's a bunch of other shows that they're making. Then there's like another like spin-off show, like an Endgame that they're calling it. I'm like, are you sure it's gonna be an Endgame? And they're gonna end the series because they want money. They're gonna keep going at it no matter what. Like if they want to end off this story, and they want to end off Rick Grimes and all these other characters, yeah, sure. But are they gonna end up Walking Dead in the whole? No. They started Walking Dead World Beyond. Not a single Walking Dead character was on it, other than like a side character, one main character that wasn't really a main character in the original Walking Dead, but they were a main character in Walking Dead World Beyond. That did not have any main characters from The Walking Dead. They could do that. They did Tales of the Walking Dead or whatever, and they had Alpha on one episode. She was a main character, but I mean, what else can you do? There's so much stuff that they never gonna get done. I'm not even gonna watch it that much anymore. I quit, because I'm just gonna finish the Daryl show and Dead City, hoping it ends right, and done. I'm not gonna watch anymore, because I'm not gonna watch the Rick show. That show is gonna be so huge that, like, they don't know how to end it. It's a huge group. And they say that they're just gonna end it off, and some people are thinking that, like, oh, hey, it's only gonna be one season, they're gonna be all wiped out. They're building them up so huge, CRM and all that, and if they're wiped out in one series, they could have just wiped them out in World Beyond. And then yet they'd be wiped out just because of Rick and Michonne. Come on. They're just two characters. And they're making this so huge that they're making it into a universe, and they're making Fear the Walking Dead characters the Walking Dead characters versus CRM. That's basically what's happening. They're making it so huge that that's basically happening. And yet Fear the Walking Dead, everyone lived also. Like, what main character in the final season died? No main character. Not a single main character died in the final season. Maybe Charlie? And a few off-screen characters that wasn't really like a huge, like, on-screen Fear the Walking Dead the first 3 seasons. They had Mo, they had all of these, like, other characters that they died off-screen. Main characters usually die on-screen. Like, we know what happens to them. And these 3 main characters that I forgot the name, Wendell and a few others or whatever, Sarah, they all died off-screen, basically. And someone mentioned that they died or whatever. Like, that's... why? I know I've been talking enough about this, but I mean, I'm just tired of all this stuff, and I'm basically moving on from Walking Dead. I'm making this final 1 month Walking Dead thing or whatever, and even me. Like, me as, like, a person. I watch Walking Dead, I do all this stuff and all that, and I'm going back to my old self. This is my past. Walking Dead's my past. So I'm gonna be more, like, into other stuff. I'm not gonna be 100% into Walking Dead. Like, there's gonna be a few things I'll be into still, obviously. Once The Walking Dead's over, like, it's never gonna be over, but I'm gonna be into my own stuff. Like, there's gonna be Fear the Walking Dead already done. I'm into that. The Walking Dead's, like, the main show is already done. I was into that. Then there's the Daryl and Negan and Maggie show. I'm into those. Those 2 shows are not going to last too long. But I mean, when am I going to stop watching Walking Dead? It's just Negan Maggie show and then the Daryl show. That'll be probably around 2026, 27. At least. if they want to make it last like 3 seasons, 4 seasons, probably 5, then it's done. What other Walking Dead shows would be continuing that I would watch? There's only 2 more right now. I'm not going to keep going in this universe, and I'm just tired of this whole Walking Dead thing. They ruined the Telltale game by making Clemson comic books. They should have made a DLC to find out who was in the caravan. I'm going to talk about that later, but I mean, they should have just made a DLC of what happened to the caravan. Now they're just making it so huge that like, oh hey, let's make Clemson comic books. Is she going to go back home in the 3rd book and something's going to happen, they're going to make a DLC? Then what was the comic books based for? Like, I don't know, they ruined the game by making comic books. Just the one definitive edition or whatever that I have. That's all I need for a Walking Dead game. And I could still play on PS5, PS4. So, I don't need another Walking Dead Telltale game. They ruined it, so everything is on one disc. They ruined The Walking Dead. They ruined Season 3, because not even a single choice mattered. But now I'm talking about Telltale stuff, that's in another video. But yeah, now I'll see you in the next one. There's still plenty of stuff to talk about, but I mean, it's all bad stuff. But yeah, I'll see you next one, and bye.